Good evening, everybody. It's Gwen with Crafty Lady Designs. I'm back with a new soft covered, sorry, junk journal that I finished today. I've been working on this for a while. Excuse me. I have been watching Amity Bloom and her linen and lace collages, etc. So I kind of come up with one myself. This is a soft cover, one signature junk journal. It's all covered in fabric, the back, the insides, etc. And I'll show you that. The cover to the original cover before the collage on front is hemp. I love this hemp material. I made another book with it. It's just really great to work with, and it just looks really well. The front part of the book is a collage of uh, well, the width of the book is 5.5 by 8, 5.5 by 8 3/4. The front of the book, this is a collage. Now, this starts with a piece of lace and, oh, I don't know what you would call it underneath, but it's all one thing. And it comes in a roll, and I got it at Hobby Lobby. And it's virtually the size of the front of the book. And then I added a row of lace and a row of the white lace first, and then the brown lace on top, which I bought both of these at Hobby Lobby as well. And then I just hand stitched all the laces down, and then I did it's called a stitch in the ditch. I did a piece of hemp, and I sewed it down, and then I wrapped it, and I sewed in the ditch, as they say. And people that sew will know what I'm talking about, and if you don't, it doesn't matter. But I stitched down in this line here so you couldn't virtually see it from the front, and it attaches the roll to the back. Now, this is all one piece that then I glued it on top with Fabri-Tac. I glued it on top. So I made the piece first on this lacy part here. This is all one, this lace here is all one piece. And then I have the white lace, and then I added the brown lace. I secured it with sari silk. I think this is a champagne color. It's kind of new for me. I absolutely love it. I took the sari silk, and then I pressed it and opened it up, and then made a pretty long piece to make a big bow. So let's, there again, this is the front, this is the back with the hemp. Let's go inside and get into this nonsense, as I say. And this is loose. I did not secure it. This, the sari silk is loose. Maybe you can see this a little better without the bow. This is all one piece, goes all the way across. And then the lace, and then the lace, and then the brown lace. So the inside is all fabric as well. And it is a canvas fabric. It's canvas by the yard, and it is all the way through the front, the back, and whatever. Then I stenciled on the canvas, as you can see. Okay. Oh, I got a little markings on there, but that's okay. On the front, I've made a pocket. This is just out of paper. And then I made a little, some little side pieces here so it wouldn't lay too flat. And this is out of a collection that I had. Now this is so cute. This is a handmade postcard, and this idea came from Amity Blue, Nazi. It's just a piece of cardstock that I stitched to look like a postcard. Now, she used fabric stamps, which I didn't have any, it didn't make any, but I just put a little thank you on there. And then the stitching across the other side is to represent where you would sign. This was really kind of cute. So I put that in here. This is Mrs. Coggs' ephemera that I copied off. She had a whole series of shoes. She made a junk journal that was fashion, and she had all these shoes. So I copied this off and rounded the corners. This goes in here as well. This is a tag that I copied off as well. I've got so much ephemera and so many downloads, and I apologize. I don't know where this came from. It may have come uh, from Tracy Fox, but I'm not sure. So I've slipped that down in here as well. This is my information. Crafty Lady, Handmade Books, Junk Journal, Special Orders, and Ephemera. It's got my email address, and then it's got uh, Etsy store, which the name of my Etsy store is Book Art Design, which is all one word. I'll have this information down below. So this card will go with whoever ends up with the journal. The card will be in there as well. So I just stuck it down here in the front. Here's the first page. Now this page is it's not a it's really not a digital stamp. It's a page from Nick the Booksmith. And we'll see the other side as we go along. On all the tops, not all the tops, but I placed a lot of tabs on the top of the papers. This is a page where I've stamped, and this was a cut apart that I just cut apart and put on here. Oh, and I stapled these two together. I'll have to fix that. I apologize. And this is a page with the bicycle. Oh, look, I've stayed, but I'll fix that. That's funny. Here's another page. And on the back, with stenciling, and on the back side of the page, it was long, and I folded it over. I glued it down to make a pocket. And then this is just some numbers that I had that I copied off. I think Nick the Booksmith had provided a whole sheet of numbers and etc. And so I've also, this is, I think this is Mrs. Coggs as well. And it's just some memorabilia that I copied off. This was some memorabilia that I found in my, I copied off a bunch of things and cut them out and whatever. This is Florin. Oh, and it's Journal English something. It's like a library. It's like a dictionary card. And this is Tracy's as well. Tracy Fox. It's a bug that I copied off of hers and then rounded the corners. This is a page, and on this I did. I have an old dictionary stamp from Stamping Up, and I mean it's old. And this says cherish, and this is the definition of cherish. I stamped all these on some coffee dye paper, and then I tore them out, and then I did some stenciling on above, and then there again I put a tab at the top. You open it up some more. I did a lot of stenciling with two different stencils. This is another, it's like a, well, it's a strip. It's one whole strip, and it's a collage, and it was a takeoff of Amity Bloom's linen and lace tutorial, and it has fabric and lace here and lace there, and I hand sewed three buttons on, and then here's a rusted safety pin, a small one that I did get from Denise at A Tattered Dream. This is a picture from the beekeepers from Mrs. Cog, and I just put it on a piece of cardstock and cut it out and slipping this down in the pocket. This is, oh dear, I knew, and because I looked it up today, and I apologize. It's a tag with a crow, and it has some writing on it about the crow, and I put a grommet in it, and then I just tied on some twine, and it fits down in there as well. There's a lot of blank paper, so you can journal on this. This is a half page or a fourth of a page. This says thinking of you, some more stenciling, some more plain paper, and when you turn this over, this also has lace, as you can see, lace on the side. and it has two tickets that I punched a hole in, and then I just put them together and pinned them on the lace with a garment pin. This is a Mrs. Coggs. This came out of the Beekeepers picture, and I put that in the pocket. And this is just a tag that I had that I copied off a long time ago with butterflies. And then on the back, it has lines where you could journal. So I've stuck that in there as well. Here's a tag at the top. Uh, I'm going to try the autofocus again. I've had trouble with it. This is just plain paper, plain paper. This is a book that I have, Edith Holden book about nature, uh, which I really enjoy. Here's another tab, and it says uh, family is everything. I stamped on that, and you could journal down below and journal. This is just stamped at the top as well. As I say, I left a lot of blank papers. This is a page with a pocket. I made the pocket. Now this pocket derived from, I think, Gail. Thank you, Gail, if it did. Then I've stamped up here, it says, uh, every day is a new beginning. I have a rolled stamp that has various sayings, and they're just fine, small sayings like this. Every day is a new beginning. And I stamped them and then just cut them out. I stenciled here, and then this is a two-pocket, and this is made out of an envelope, I believe. I could have left this open at the top, but I didn't. I closed it up. This is another bird tag that I slipped in here. This is another bee tag that I don't know where this came from other than it was in my ephemera that I'd already cut out and would put it in here as well. And this is a Mrs. Coggs with bees, and that kind of correlates with that bee tag. So when you turn this over, now this is just a piece of fabric. I folded this over. This is another one of the papers that was big, and I just folded it over. This is just a piece of cloth that I had. In fact, I made a book. I made a book out of this, and I think I've have it on YouTube. So I just cut this strip of fabric and put it down, and then this is just some ribbon that is some leaf ribbon. I think we've all seen that I just glued on top of it. This is a seed packet, and I stamped on thinking of you. The seed packet is from Johnny of Journal something. I apologize, but she sent me these as a Happy Mail, and inside is a tag. A tag that she sent me as well, and I just put a grommet in it that you could journal on or write on. So I put this down in the seed packet. These seed packets are darling. Allegedly, you can get these from Target, but I haven't looked, and I know most people that showed them and use them said they did get them at their Target. I don't know that every Target. And it kind of hooks in like so, and it just fits down here in this side pocket. This is some baking paper that I've stamped on. It's kind of hard to see, but I stamped on it. That I used to bake my tea-dye paper with. This is just a piece of stenciled paper with a tab on top. This is stenciled as well, and it says, "Follow your dreams," with stenciling. This is a piece of ledger paper that's stenciled, and it is the center of our signature. I don't know how many pages are in this thing. I tea-dyed this, and it dyed pretty well, quite frankly. Got a little stamp down here in the bottom. It has a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and I used waxed linen thread. When you turn this, it's just a blank page with a tab at the top. I'm sorry, getting out of frame. Blank page, blank page. Here's a little stenciling on the back of that coffee paper, and it says talking, let's see, what did I say? I'm sorry. Telling the Bees. This all came from Mrs. Cobb, Telling the Bees. She did a bee book. It was marvelous. Blank paper, blank paper. Now this is a stamp that I've made. Others have made as well. It's the inside of a corrugated box lid where you rip off the top and you've got all the serrations and use it as lines for journaling. And I've also stamped a little stamp on the top and the bottom. Plain paper. This is from Johnny as well. It says into. It's just a little word card. And it's on. I just put it on with a little round paper clip. Excuse me. This opens. Okay. This is the back page of the nature page from Edith Holding. This is a pocket that I made. It's stenciled here. Now this shoe card is from Mrs. Cogg, like I showed you on the front, and I made a pocket out of it, and I just put a little gold round clip there. And this is just a bee. This may have been Mrs. Cogg's, but I'm not real sure. And I put that in there. Here's another bird card. Boy, I can't remember who. I apologize. I can't remember. And this shoe card, I'm going to stick it in here because of the shoe, was on Mrs. Cogg's download. So we turn the page, and this is a Mrs. Cogg's. This is a flower, of course, a flower card from biology or botany, and I put it on the backing, on this backing, and I've just fringed it all the way around. I have a stamp that I stamped on the top and bottom just to give it a little more interest. I'm trying to stay in frame. Here's the stamp again, so you could journal on this. This is plain. This is, of course, another template that I have. I have two different ones I've used in here, plus a tab at the top. This is the back of the half page. This is plain. This is plain for journaling. Plain for journaling with another tab. Plain. Here's the back part of the stamped journaling page. I made this. It's just like a library card, except I made it out of cardstock, and I stencil on that as well. Here's just a couple of tickets that I found. They could be separated, but I stuck in there. Here's another one of the bird tags. I have several of those bird tags. And as I say, I apologize. I can't remember. I thought I had it on the tip of my tongue. And of course, this is plain to journal, plain. Here's another tab at the top with another template. Plain. It's plain on the back, plain on here. And this is the back page that encloses the whole signature. And this page is a download from Nick the Booksmith's. And then I stencil on the back on the cloth. And there we have it. I really like it. It's a soft cover, as I said. Now, I'm going to get something real quick, and I'll be right back because I want to show you what that front piece looks like before it's attached. I made a few small ones, but that's the large one that I made. I'm on my way back. I made this one as well. And it's on. This is all sewn on, with a big button sewn on with lace and rusted safety pin, a button, and this is on the hemp. I took a piece of hemp this size and I laid it all out. I took the class. I took Amity Bloom's Nazzie's class on linen and lace, and so the this was made like this. Other than this has more. Then I made a couple small ones. Here's a small one that I made, and then here's a couple little. Oh, you could put them like I didn't, but you could do like that if you wanted to. So there's a couple small ones. So I wanted to show you that simply because this is how this was made. Now this is a little more simple because I wanted it that way. This could be used as a flip, fabric flip, if you wanted to, like so. Gail does that a lot. I've never done that, but you could certainly. Um, and I thought I used one of them. Let's see. Maybe I didn't. I did. I did. Here's the other one I made. I made the great big one for the front, and then I made the next size and the small, and then I made this one as well. This is the same thing. This is a collage on a strip of fabric. You start with a strip of fabric and then you add to it. And I used this as a pocket with these two pieces here. Okay, so I wanted you to see what that was. I really like it, and as I say, it's a soft cover. I can't stay in frame. I apologize. It's chunky. It's one signature. I didn't count the pages. Let me count real quick. Okay, there are 72 pages, approximately 72 pages more or less. And as I say, it is secured with a sari silk. This is a champagne color silk. I've got a lot of sari silk, and I ordered this. Mrs. Cog uses a lot of sari silk, and I ordered this from the same place she does, and there again, I don't know the name of it. I'll try to put some of this information down below. I got that a little off, but that's okay. Yeah, that's too far off. I got it a little off trying to tie it back, and that's a little too far off. I'm going to have this on my Etsy store within a day or so. I'll probably have it up by tomorrow. Um, I really like it. I've been making a lot of the traveler's notebooks, as you know, and I have them on there. I will have all my information as far as my, let me get this down, as far as my Etsy store and capturedonpaper.com. My Etsy store is Book Art Design, all one word. I'll have my email address on there. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'd be more than happy to answer them if I can. I'd love a thumbs up on this if you could do that for me. And if you're a follower of mine, thank you so very much. I have great followers. And if you're new, please sign up and click on the little bell. And every time I make a YouTube or anything like that, you'll be notified that I've done that. So I thank you again. I hope you like it. I really do like it. I made a junk journal for a while now. I've got a couple hardbacks that are in process, but I started to make it, and I've made several of the TNNs, the soft covered TNNs. So I thought, well, I kind of change it up a little bit and make a soft cover this size, which is the same size as the TNNs. So thank you so very much. I'm happy that you stopped by. Uh, any questions, please let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.